The friend groups do not survive past Miami. That Miami trip would test those friend groups. And did somebody lace your weed? Or did you forget that we're back with another video? But yeah, these Miami trips, it'd be Miami. I don't know why. Like, I feel like if it was Texas, New York, but the trip to Miami, my goodness. We're going to see what's up with it, all right? We're going to get into
the lore about like girls trips in Miami, like you go friends and you never come back friends. There's like a Miami curse with girls trips.
So after we get done eating, the bill ends up coming and the bill comes up to like $350. So that's when she got crazy. So one of the girls was like, oh hell no, I only got $20. What you mean you only got bitch, why would you take your ass to Miami with $20? Let's be so for real.
So they were taking videos and
alright,
excluding me out of the videos, you know, like doing videos like this on the side, like, you know, panning
towards
them in the video and not me.
Like, I would never do another girl's trip because of like this whole situation. It was like Khalil was mad, everyone was upset. It was like we all had
Today we're diving into a topic that's plagued girl groups for generations. Why do
sorry, I'm just really shook by the first round of videos.
girlfriend groups going to Miami for a vacation always end up in drama? Now, some of you guys might be asking, Caroline, why would you make a video on this, especially a deep dive, girl? Yes, it's a deep dive. This is a topic that has always fascinated me because it's just too many people are experiencing the exact same thing, and we've never really talked about, hey, like, maybe we should talk about the reasons for this.
And it's Miami. Like, it stayed being Miami. One thing I can say, you going on a trip, like let's say you have a friend that you're cool with, but then they bring a friend, I don't recommend that. I personally never have done it, but trips are very intimate. You know, y'all are sharing a space, y'all are doing things together, y'all are in each other's faces 24/7. You don't go on trips with people you don't even know for real.
I'm going to give you guys a very thorough deep dive into the truth about Miami vacations and why girlfriend groups never seem to survive. The Miami friend breakup. If you don't know what this is, it's okay. We're gonna break it all down in this video. We're going to get into the nitty gritty of how this can even come to be. As someone who has went to Miami, and I did every single thing that all the TikTokers, all the girlies will tell you not to do. I went to Miami with odd numbers. Yeah, if you didn't know about that, that's literally a thing. You're not supposed to go to Miami with odd numbers.
I had seen somebody say don't even like hang out in a group. It is an odd number, so like nobody can be excluded or nobody can be left out. Like everybody will have like their person. Like instead of going out in groups of 3, go out in 4. So like it can be like 2 and 2 instead of 5 do 6. It could be like 3 and 3 or 2 2 2s. You know what I mean? So I get the theory.
Evens only, 2, 4, 6. Because if not, somebody's always left out. I went to Miami with friends who had some budgets, but then friends who had lower budgets, and then we just had to navigate that. And it was my first time in Miami and my friend's first time in Miami. So for those of you who go and frequent Miami, the club scene, yeah, we're gonna get into that and the prices of all of that.
Miami is cheap.
Stay tuned for this video. But before we get into the nitty gritty, hi, my name is Caroline, your internet bestie who loves to yap and use my love of commentary to give glory to God and uplift other women. If you agree or disagree with anything said in this space, please comment it down below, as I love learning and growing with and through you all. Everything said here is 100% opinion based. I know you've seen the TikToks, the Twitter threads, the Reddit confessions, friendships falling apart faster than a lace front in the Miami humidity.
I told you guys Miami ruins girl friendships and y'all thought I was joking, and then Trinity shares her story on this app and all these other people follow, and now everybody's commenting on how Miami ruins friendships, but I said it since day one.
We're talking petty fights, secret grudges, wild party nights gone wrong, and entire friend groups coming.
And another thing is, it's just like the first friend group, not the first friend group, the first trip you took with your friends, or did it just happen, like maybe this is like the 5th or 3rd trip you took with your friends in Miami is what really just set things over the top? Because what is it with Miami? I think it's just a popular spot, so maybe that's why that's like the example. But trips, You definitely will learn more about a person once you travel with them. Trust.
Back with a group chat full of ghosts. It gets crazy, and we're gonna get into it. But here's the thing. It's not just the heats, the high heels, or the hangovers. It's actually way, way deeper than that. Let's get into the psychology, the economics, and the social dynamics that turn what is supposed to be a fun girls trip into a full-on friendship apocalypse. So we're starting off strong. The money trap. First things first, let's talk money. Vacations are expensive, and Miami is one of those places where the costs add up quick. And I mean quick. Flights, hotels, Ubers, bottle service, outfits, last minute waxing, and the whole aesthetic overhaul. You feel pressure.
You see, one thing I can say about Miami though, you can get away not paying for a lot of stuff. Not like within your friend group, but if you run into a dude and be like, that literally happened to me. I ran into a dude, oh, I'm a club promoter, I have my own section, we have our own drinks, and Trippie Redd is performing, come. Don't have to pay for it. I didn't pay for a damn thing. I didn't even really hang out with him even. I didn't find him until like the end of the night, but I just showed up. The people just let me in. I didn't even have a section. Like, so I can say that about Miami, especially if you're a girl, you can get away with not paying for much. However, I wouldn't go into a situation like that with that mentality. I think that's very inconsiderate. And I think you going out with people in general, knowing you don't have that much and you're not communicating that, is inconsiderate. I don't care if you're insecure about it. You're in a group. You have to get past that, and it's unfair to the other people. It's mad awkward. Everybody's out to eat. Everybody brought enough money, and you came to this restaurant. You agreed to go to this restaurant. Let's say it's an expensive restaurant. Most plates are $50, and you know you can really only afford $20 plates or less. Why would you agree to go?
To do just to step out on South Beach. Miami, if you are someone who's really trying to do Miami, it's not one of those places that you just on a whim go to. Like, you have to be ready for Miami. And we're gonna get into why. We're gonna get into the social standings, how beauty is perceived there, colorism, and all of it. According to a survey by Bankrate, 52% of Americans have had friendships damaged due to money issues. What? Oh, and don't get me started on the friend who suddenly becomes a human calculator. Miami is one of those places that they're not gonna split a bill, okay? Unless it's just two people, and depending on where you're at, even for that, they're not splitting the bill. So when you're doing girl group trips, that usually means more than two people. The bill's not getting split. I went with just two other friends. It was 3 of us in total, and majority of the places we went would not split more than 2 ways. So we had to figure it out.
So she's like, all right, girl, I'm gonna pay you back when we get to Miami. So I paid for everything, thinking that when I get to Miami, she's gonna give me my $700 back. Because she is irresponsible, she missed her flight. The hotel is on her credit card. So when I arrived before her, I couldn't check in. So they had to move the room to my card so that I could check in first. She arrives, gives me $500, and we start the weekend. We go to Forever 21 that was up on Lincoln, and she's blowing a bag. I'm looking at her because you still owe me $200. So I'm like, yeah, when am I going to get the rest of my money, please? She gives it to me like I'm begging her for my money back. I start to notice throughout the weekend that she's not eating anything, like nothing. Like, she'll be like, oh, I'm not hungry, and then try to eat my fries. I'm like, listen, I only brought enough money for me to eat. So, yeah, no. We're on Ocean, and I'm eating. She's trying to eat off me, and I tell her straight up, like, listen.
Look, that's mad awkward, too. Because, like, I got food, and I genuinely care for you as a friend. Like, I don't want to see you not eating either. You see how, like, that could be super inconsiderate? And if we're going to be for real, the friend shouldn't even buy anything at Forever 21. I know damn well there's a Forever 21 back to wherever they live, unless they're, like, international. But you shouldn't buy anything at Forever 21. It's kept that money for food. So even that alone is what already pissed me off. You know, you better return that shit.
If you're hungry, buy something. But come to find out, I don't think she has any money.
I've watched watch plethora of videos of why girl groups broke up in Miami, story times, what went right, what went wrong, and a lot of them overlap in one area. And you already know what I'm gonna say. It always comes down to the money. It comes down to this friend budgeted to do this, and that, but this friend budgeted to do this, and that, and then some. It's always like that. And honestly, it can always be avoided by just having conversations before you book that flight, before you pay for that hotel, that Airbnb, understanding what is everybody trying to do and what is everybody okay with. And do not pay for nothing unless you know you're getting paid back. Like, I don't know. I guess everyone is navigating things differently, but my thing is, if we're trying to go on a trip and it's time to put down some money and you don't have the money and you're like, oh, well, I could pay you back, baby, then we're just not ready. Because
I'm not doing that. I'll pay you when we get there. No, don't do that with anybody. I had low-key did that with my ex one time. Not me. Like, he had to pay me. That was a mistake. Don't do that with anybody. Don't do it unless they your motherfucking kid. No. Yeah, not even your romantic partner. And be honest with you. I mean, if you're a man, you probably feel differently. But don't do that with nobody. If they not your kid, don't gonna be a pay me back type thing, especially if it's in the triple digits. Because I am the type of friend, like, I'll pay this for you, you pay this for me. It's like an unspoken thing. But when we reach in triple digits, I don't know if me personally, I'm comfortable to, like, just be giving the money out like that.
If we can't have the money right now, we're not ready to go on this trip. Lots of women are going and booking Airbnbs, booking hotels, and they're not getting the money from everyone before they book it. And then they get to the trip and there's still problems coming up. Oh, I'll pay you this and that later. Or these friends that they bring on the trip, pay them, and then they navigate Miami and realize, oh, this place is expensive. I cannot afford all this. Like, I already paid for this hotel, this and that. Let's just stay on the beach. Why don't we just stay on the beach? South Beach is fun. Let's just drink and stay on the beach.
Go to Miami with a bitch and she start running out of money. She starts saying extra weird shit, like, we go to the restaurant, we get to the front door of the restaurant, it say Italian cuisine. She talking about, bitch, you know I don't eat cuisine. What is cuisine? I ain't never ate that before. Y'all bitches doing too much. Y'all be trying to do extra stuff. I don't even play like that. Well, take me to McDonald's.
Yeah, she gotta get the fuck up out of here. I'm sorry, straight point period. I just had 2 conversations like this. First of all, I'm the type of person, I prioritize food heavy. I like to get the foods that I can't get back at home. 2, that's not how even you approach somebody. On some real shit. Like, I'm being so for real. Let's say you don't eat cuisine, which is, I don't think she even using the word right. But let's say you don't eat that style of food. Just be like, I'm be honest, y'all, like, I don't really eat this. But it's like, how did you not know the name of the food place that you're going to before you went? Okay. But that's not how you approach people. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, be straight up. Just be straight up. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I'm not really feeling the menu. Or, I definitely done that one time. Like, I showed her somewhere, like, dang, I thought I would be feeling the menu, but now I'm not really feeling it. I'll go eat somewhere else. It happens. But just to be coming at people and your friends like that, you come at your friends like that, that's not cool.
You ran out of money, just say that.
And honestly, no shade, no tea for people who want to just stay on the beach. But if you go with a friend group and there's a portion of that group that wants to go out clubbing, that wants to go out and explore the food scene, that wants to go out and shop, and you can't contribute to those things, that's going to cause turmoil in the friendship. It will absolutely cause turmoil in the group, because either one person's going to be there and feel left out because they're not participating, or they're just going to avoid it at all costs and decide to stay back, and then now the group split up, and now it's not even like a girl group anymore, and now we're sowing seeds for something bigger. You understand? I saw this TikTok of a girl exposing how her...
Well, you should go to the trip kind of like having some ground rules already. Like, what are people expecting to do? What are you guys looking forward to do? Like, how do you go to the trip and then everybody's talking about, oh, we should do this, we should do that. No, then you guys didn't go on the trip even setting some type of foundation already. Y'all just booked the flights and booked the hotel and like, boom, here we go. Even if this is your dog, I still feel like we should try to just like air out whatever we need to air out before we go. Especially like, and don't be going on the trip if you got problems with somebody already.
Friend wanted to split the bill evenly after ordering the most expensive items. That's another huge. And honestly, y'all, I've seen this in so many story times. If you are a girl in a friend group and you know that you are the type to just, hey, we're gonna split everything down the middle. Do not go out and eat with the person who's going to be ordering this which way and that, and you're just getting a little pasta and a water. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're not splitting nothing down the middle, because yes, essentially
you're lace. If I ordered a fettuccine alfredo and you just order a tomahawk with a baked potato, I'm not splitting that shit. That way of thinking is inconsiderate. Like, I think this is more than money. Like, people are just being inconsiderate. But that's something I feel like you should pick up on your friend or whoever you about to go out with before y'all book a whole trip. I think when y'all hang out in y'all hometown, you can pick up on something like that. So people are just being kind of unaware. But if you the type to say we gotta split, no. Everybody pay for that. That literally makes the most sense. Everybody pay for their own stuff. Why would you want it any other way? Oh, if you're the person who ordered the most expensive thing, I can see that.
Are paying for way more. The only way that can work is if you two are ordering something along the same line price-wise. If they're getting a steak and you're getting a carbonara with 2 drinks or whatever, it just needs to add up price-wise. And if it doesn't, if at the end of that meal it doesn't, then girl, whatever your friend bought or order some more. Get a couple more drinks, because no, everything's getting split down the middle. Like, I just don't understand, honestly, how you could be okay with splitting things down the middle, knowing that you did order like the most expensive things there. We as girls need to talk about that. But at the same time, Miami doesn't really leave a lot of room to avoid those situations. When they only have 2-way checks and you order with a big group of girls, there are going to be girls who inevitably bought more things. There are going to be girls who inevitably ate more things. And when you get down to the whole like, oh, well, we're going to pass the receipt around, everybody send me what you got, then there's service charges, then there's taxes, then there's tips. You see how the person who ends up picking the bill usually is always slighted a little bit.
And another thing is, everybody need to pay that before we leave. I think that's the only right thing to do. Try to pay that. Oh, I'll pay you when we get back to the hotel. People start forgetting. You know how somebody take pictures of you and like, oh, send me that, and they don't send you the pictures till like 2 days later. Like, people get to forgetting, or like purposely trying not like send whatever they need to send. You like, we need to get that out the way.
Especially if the people who are paying were expecting to pay with their credit card and they didn't really have the money on them like that. The issues start going. Y'all understand where I'm going with this. Like, a lot of the problems in Miami do stem from money. And it's not even all the time that, oh, it's because girls don't have money. It's because y'all are not talking about where you're allocating your money, and everyone's not on the same page in terms of like, okay, we understand that we can only split this 2 ways. We all need to be very proactive in like getting this money back to each other, because if you ask everybody for their money and only a portion of them send it, this and this and that, and then that can cause weirdness. It's just really one of those places where it's like, dang, financially, if everybody's not on the same page with you, you will not have a good time, because there's always going to be somebody who's acting weird about finances. And ultimately, if we're calling a spade, it comes down to that person just not having the same finances or not wanting to spend a certain amount of finances the way everybody else is. You understand? I saw this Reddit thread where this girl was talking about how she paid for the hotel for her and her friends on a Miami group trip. And when she got back after the trip, everybody was saying how they were going to send their money, how they were going to pay her back. She said the plan.
This is where we kind of have to take shared responsibility. I'm going to pay for a whole trip and you're going to pay me back afterwards. Don't do that. Like, I'm telling y'all, I've done that. Did not get my money back till like 2 months later. And we only got it back because there was pressure behind it. But do not do that. Don't.
Ended. They got off. Everybody deboarded, said their goodbyes. She never got her money. She hit them up. It was still the same thing until eventually they just stopped responding to her. Girl never got her money. I think she was saying in the thread that there was 1 or 2 girls on the trip that were actually her friends, and maybe I think one of them did end up sending the money or something like that. The other girls on the trip were friends of a friend, and them girls completely ghosted her. Never sent their money. But in those situations, I'm not even gonna try to lie. I hate blaming the victim, but at some point you have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, girl, why would I pay for a hotel that girls I don't know are staying in? Absolutely not. Hotel would be canceled because where's my money? Oh, you can't afford it right now? Why are we going on this trip to Miami? Miami is one of the most expensive cities in America. You do not be going to Miami if you don't have the money. Point blank period. Your friendship will not last. I can tell you that right now. Club culture and colorism. Now let's talk about Miami club culture. Okay, if you've ever tried to get into Live or 11, then you know the vibes. You know the vibes. Miami clubs are notorious for having discriminatory door policies, where bouncers and promoters subtly or not so subtly prioritize lighter skinned women and those who are fit and fit a very specific body type over the latter.
You know how they always say that girls go to Miami and they leave not friends? I'm going to tell you why. I think that a lot of girls are getting to Miami with the idea that the pretty privilege they get in their city also works in Miami. Now, you may be pretty in your city, but you may not be Miami pretty. And with Miami also being very colorist, I think that a lot of girls get there with little to no money, thinking that they can rely on their looks, and then they get the shock of their lives. So I'm going to tell you my Miami story and how this trip ended an 8-year friendship.
Oh my
This can create a very toxic dynamic within friend groups very, very, very quickly.
This kind of had me questioning myself because I don't know if I already had explained this Trippie Redd story, but basically, like, this club, I said it earlier, like, the club promoter told me, like, hey, Trippie Redd performing. I had pulled up to the club, right? And my plan was I was going to wait for him to come outside to let me in. But I gave one of the security guards my ID so he can check out I was 21. He's like, oh, you can just go in. The dude never even came out to come get me. Like, I could have made up a whole story how I had somebody in there. They just let me in. And so I didn't even consider, cause I just thought, oh, maybe because I look good, but maybe it was a colorist thing and like the body was tea, you know? And I be learning too. We learning together on this channel.
Especially if you're one of those people who, if you've watched some of my past videos about becoming friends with people based on their looks and their weight and their size and how very toxic that can be. If you're one of those people who just have friends and you don't care about what their skin tone is, what size they are, how they look, then Miami's one of those places that will expose your friend group for sure. Based upon Eurocentric standards. Because the beauty is very different for everybody and how everybody perceives beauty is very different, but we know Miami has a very specific look of what they deem as beautiful in Miami. Not all over America, but just in Miami. And of course, that's going to be whites, skinny, tall, model types. But if you're not that aesthetic, then they'll take lighter skins and BBL fit, still very small waist, like looking women. And sometimes that doesn't even always mean lighter skinned black women, because I've seen lighter skinned black women come out with their own stories. I just mean like more like lighter skinned Hispanic women, or like lighter skin. Even if you're a black woman, you have to dang near like your mom's black, your dad's white, that light skin. This can be very toxic to a friend dynamic, especially where some girls are getting VIP treatments while other girls are just getting left in the dust. I saw a video on TikTok where this girl said this promoter invited her out to his section when her and her friends were all out shopping, and he didn't invite all her friends. She asked if all her friends would be able to come in, and he said no. And simply, he said, you can though. And what was that girl supposed to do in that situation? Obviously, if you have any sense, you would not just go and be in this random man's section with none of your friends with you. But like, it's also
not because I did the same thing, but recently when I went to Miami, I went with my brother. So I was like, okay, cool. Can he come? He was like, oh, it's my brother. So like, it's not like I was with another female friend. So it's kind of different. You know, girls getting for free, guys have to pay. It was one of those situations. But this right here, that's low-key yikes.
One of those things where it's like, if this is a really cool opportunity or somebody who's super big is performing, you really wanted to see them, it's a really hard opportunity to miss as that friend that was being invited, because it's like, dang.
That's true. Okay, I can, when you put it like that, I don't know, maybe if all your friends was cool with it, like, no, go. Like, if, let's say it's your favorite artist, like, let's say it's Drake. Like, for me, it was Trippie Redd. I mean, Trippie Redd's not my favorite artist, but I like Trippie Redd. So that's why I ended up going. Like, when am I going to get a free opportunity just to see Trippie Redd? Like, out the blue. You know what I mean? So I went, but dang, when you put it like that, if they cool with it, fine, but like, And they're not really vibing with it, I feel like you should stay with your friends.
And like, I had the opportunity, but I couldn't take it. Ultimately, regardless, if I was in that situation, of course, I would just not take it. I would go with my friends. But I've seen videos of women saying like, hey, like, I just told my friend to go ahead and go without me. And that's just not okay. Regardless, both sides, it should just, no friend should be, if you went there with friends and you're leaving your friends to go and do something with a stranger or go somewhere with a stranger, absolutely not. That's a personal opinion. I don't feel like that's safe. I don't think you should be going anywhere by yourself in a girl's friend group, but every friendship's different.
Nah, I agree with that. I was definitely on some for the plot type timing. When I describe that story to people, I just be like that, and like the 50 Cent experience I had, I be telling people like, don't do that. Don't do that. That wasn't even cool for what I did. Like, even me driving back down to Miami, I was staying for Lala, and I went to Miami in a rental car, did not pay for parking. Like, totally could have got towed or got in a ticket. I went by myself. I didn't even know the dude. I met him like 5 minutes ago, basically. Like, that's not safe. And if I was in this section the whole time, I didn't go to this section till like 10 minutes, like 5 minutes before I was going to leave. Because by the time he found me, mentally, I was like, yeah, I'm about to leave in 10 minutes because I'm hungry and I got to drive back up. So when he found me, he gave me a shot, but they could be like roofing. They're gonna lace my drink. I'm just say that they could lace your weed. They could lace my drink. So I say that too.
And there are situations where a girl will leave her friend to go and feel lit, to go and be with a dude, to go and do whatever. And it's like, ultimately, that will obviously cause turmoil within friends. This isn't just an opinion though. Studies show that colorism is deeply rooted in nightlife culture. And there are so many videos out that Black girls are exposing how they were ignored by promoters while their lighter skinned friends got to go in for free.
So a couple years ago, one of my homegirls invited me out. She got invited to come to Mr. Jones by a promoter.
Oh my gosh, I was literally dating. The club I went to was Mr. Jones. What the fuck?
Know how that goes. I noticed very quickly that me and her are the only two Black girls in attendance. Now, around this time, the promoter pulled my homegirl to the side and said he needed to talk to her. And I'm kind of confused because I don't understand why he had to pull her to the side.
Word.
But I quickly found out. So as soon as we turned to the corner, she looks at me and I started to see tears welling up in her eyes. She looks at me and she tells me, listen, the promoter wanted me to lie to you, but you my girl, so I have to tell you the truth. They don't want to let you in the club because of your weight. When I tell y'all, I felt like the wind had been knocked out of my chest because I had never been told anything like that before. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I worked in nightlife, so I know that there's a lot of pressure to meet a certain aesthetic, but I didn't know that places were literally denying girls entry based off of how they looked.
There's also a Reddit confession that goes into a friend who went to Miami with her mixed friend group, and she had to pay for every entry while others got to go in for free. And yeah, she was the darkest in the friend group. Let's talk about it. And
I'm not gonna lie, after the first entry, I would just check in with that friend. Like, look, if you're not trying to do I'm not even a club type of person. I was at these clubs in Florida because there was an artist there. If there's no artist, I'm probably not going to be there. I do want to go to Live one day just to see what it's about. But yeah, if there's no artist, you're not really going to catch me there too often. You know what I mean? Or maybe, who knows? I might change my mind. However, definitely check in with that friend. Like, look, I get it. If y'all all like on the regular, like, y'all going with the clubs and stuff, that's one thing. But I would just check and be like, yo, if you're not feeling this, like, we can get food or find some other activities to do. Like, I don't know, just find something else. Like, I don't want them to feel like we have to go to club. And this is what I mean. People got to be considerate and mindful. If everybody's considerate and mindful, we can get through whatever's going on.
Those are the situations where it will just come down to the friends you're with. If you're on a trip with girls who maybe you know half of them, maybe you don't know the other half, then yeah, like, why would those half that you don't know, I guess, care? Although, yes, it's human decency, we all have to remember everybody wasn't raised the same. Everybody wasn't raised to understand human decency. But then it's also one of those things where it's like, if I see that I don't have to pay and me and my friends don't have to pay, but then my other friend has to pay because maybe she's like bigger in size, because maybe like they don't find her attractive, this and that.
I would at the very least split the money. Like, let's say we all getting in for free and this one friend I'm with, she gotta pay $40. We should just all split it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, look, I'll pay this part. Like, we're all just split it. evenly. I think that's the fairest thing to do.
Like, I'm the type of friend that'll be like, no, if you're not making us pay, she's not paying. But like, there are just friends who will just be like, oh, like, it's just one of you, it's just one of us, like, well, we can just split it, you know, If that's the case, you know, to each their own, but it's sickening. It's really, really sick. And I know I'm gonna get the comments, ultimately, like, why do we want to even go to the places where we're not accepted, where people are acting like that towards us? It does raise a bigger question, but it's almost like, dang, we can't just go out and enjoy ourselves like everybody else. Also, another big thing, kind of going back to how I found the promoter. The only way I was able to connect with that promoter was through using websites like Instagram, using like social media app. It doesn't matter what promoter, who you connect with in Miami. If you're trying to go out in Miami with a friend group, they are going to ask you one of two questions. How many girls are you with? And two, what are their Instagrams? Send me pictures of them. And I was kind of flabbergasted when this started happening to me. Mind you, I've been to Miami one time. This first time I ever went to Miami with my friends, I was like, why y'all want to see pictures of us? That's weird. But they were like, oh, we have men and we trying to see if, you know, y'all fit the aesthetic. I mean, they didn't say that verbatim, but that's what they were looking for. Like, they were trying to find women who fit a certain look, who looked a certain way. Like, especially promoters, so they're trying to bring men and women together. They're mostly looking for white women. And especially if they have like white men who are spending a lot of money. I'm not trying to say that like there's no places for black women in Miami, because that's absolutely not true. But a lot of those bigger clubs like Live 11, like those clubs that are like celebrities are going to them to perform, like their lines are clean out the door. Like, those are the clubs that you're gonna be encountering, like the clubs that you want to go to when you think of Miami and you're like, wow, like I'm really in Miami. Those are the clubs that you are going to have encounter these things at, because ultimately, yes, they are looking for certain women to come in that fit a certain aesthetic. Unless you get there super duper early, maybe you can have a chance of getting in there and just staying the whole night. But yeah, if you try to get there at a reasonable hour, it'll be very, very hard, unless you're trying to pay $100 at the door.
That's where the colorism, or some people have pretty privilege, or you know, the door people want to be picky and choosy. Because when I went to Mr. Jones to go see Trippie Redd, the dude said show up at 12. I didn't show up until like 1:40. And I just walked right in. Granted, there was no line, but I just walked in. So it's really, I can see where it could be picky and choosy. And it was just me. I don't know. If I was there with like 3 other girls and we all looked different, maybe it would have been like a different vibe. Or if I would have showed up with my brother, maybe that wouldn't have like played out that way. But I guess we'll never know right now.
If you go the promoter way, know that they are going to ask for your friends' Instagrams, your friends' pictures. And if your friend does not have like a baddie Instagram, or pictures that like make her, you know, or I don't want to say like over sexualized, but like ultimately, if we're being very honest, that's what they're looking for girls who have a little something on them, like know how to look good. And if your friends are very beautiful, but they're just natural, they just keep it cute, keep it simple, they don't try to do too much, those promoters are gonna, you know, your friend is cute and all, but like, no, like it sucks. But that's the whole point of this video, is to get down into the nitty gritty as to why Miami is such a negative impacting place for friend groups, because that can be a hard thing when it's like you're trying to connect with promoters and they don't feel like some of your friends are up to the caliber, or they feel like some of your friends are up to the caliber but you aren't. You know, it can go anyway. But I don't want to end off this section on a bad note. I will say that the last night that me and my friends spent in Miami, we had a ball, because we all realized after not getting in night 1, not getting in night 2, mind you, these were just the nightcaps. The days were fun. We went to the beach, we went out to Versace's mansion, we went out to eat, we did a lot of fun things. These were just the nightcaps. Like when we were trying to like, okay, we finished up the day stuff, had our fun, we're gonna go and do a nightcap, we could never get into like the clubs we wanted to get into, right? This is my friend's birthday trip, mind you. The last night, we do finally decide, okay, we're not gonna leave it up to chance anymore. We have one more night here. We need to get into a club. We all decided after 2 nights of failed attempts, we're just gonna pay. But we're not going to just go and pay at the door. That's not worth it. Sorry, we're from Texas. We are bargainers. So we were like, we're gonna find a package deal that makes $100 worth it. So I ended up finding a Instagram package deal through this promoter. I can't remember it now. This was so many years ago. But I found it through this promoter's like Instagram feed. And it was like, oh, they can pick you up from the hotel. They can take you to this bar where other people are also doing this package deal. You get free like drinks, free champagne. You get to like mix and mingle. And then from there, we get on a party bus and we go to the club and we get fast tracked into the front of the line into the club. All for $100.
Period.
I was like, well then, I'll pay $100 for that. This actually makes sense. Like $100 just to get into the club, and then you still gotta pay for drinks in the club? Absolutely not. I was like, you know what? If we're gonna
Wait, no, because that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Everybody has different experience, but from what I heard, how club culture is like, girls don't pay for anything. Nothing. Girls don't really pay for anything. Like she said, like some girls don't pay something. They make some girls pay. Like when I went, the whole night was free. Like till this day, that is like it was just like whoa. I paid at least 60 to see 50. 0 for trippy. It's crazy. Like the whole thing was free. So I don't know. Like you go to the club, like you're not even supposed to be paying for drinks. So you can get. I mean, that's if you want, like, you want to let another dude buy you drinks. But no, if you want to pay for your own drinks, that's cool. You're never going to catch me buying the bottle, though. I don't even like alcohol that much to pay my rent. I don't even pay rent, but to pay a rent price for a bottle, like, the fuck, I'd rather pee game.
I pay $100, we're gonna get more with it. And this was the best deal. And this was the night of my friend's birthday, so it worked out perfectly. They picked us up from the hotel in a limo. We went to the bar. We had free champagne. We met another birthday girl. We started like linking up, having fun with them. We got on the party bus. Party bus took us straight to the club. I don't even remember what club it took us to. It was one of those clubs. And we got in. 2 Chainz performed All I Want for My Birthday. Funny enough, we were not expecting to even get in a section when we got in the club. We were just like, okay, we got into a club. We're just gonna have a good time. We didn't even mind if we had to pay for like a couple drinks for ourselves or whatever. But ultimately, the minute we got in the club, a guy approached us. Mind you, one of the only black guys in the club. Which is very funny. But he found me and my friends, the few of the only black girls in the club, mind you. And they pulled us right into their sections. Y'all, we had drinks all night. Didn't have to worry about a thing. That was a very, very, very good time. But it ultimately would not have occurred had we not just put down some coin. And it kind of goes back to the idea that, hey, if you want to have fun in Miami, you're gonna have to spend some money. Unless you're well connected, unless you go with dudes, or you just know dudes down there that are gonna like get you and your girls in and like pay for things. If you're just visiting Miami with your friends, you don't know nobody down there like me and my friends, expect to pay a little bit of something. But ultimately, if you're on vacation, you should already plan to like pay to have fun, pay to do the things you want to do, and budget beforehand. Because if you don't, you will not have fun. Or if you do that and your friends don't, you will not have fun. So everybody needs to be on the same page. It all comes back to communication. Exactly. Social media pressure. Then there's the social media factor. Miami trips are basically Instagram baits. Poolside pics, club videos, and beach selfies that are expected to snap. The pressure to capture perfect, very vibe curated content can actually create jealousy, believe it or not. It can create a lot of jealousy and insecurity within the friend group if everybody's not on the same page with that, or if everybody's not very comfortable in front of the camera like that, or if everybody in the group is not like a close friend of yours. Like literally, I've seen so many story times where girls are on trips with girls who are a friend of a friend, and they like content. They like to get content for themselves, for their social medias. Is something that they like to do. They like to make TikToks, but then other girls on the trip are like not into that stuff. They kind of like sly hate on them, like, oh girl, you taking a lot of pictures. Oh girl, you taking a lot of videos. Oh girl, you filming again. Oh, you vlogging. Oh, as a YouTuber, I will not get along with you if you're like that. I'm just saying that right now. Like
I'm trying to say, like, if you don't want to take nothing, I'm gonna let you be. If I want to take my pictures and videos, you gonna have to let me be as well. Like that's not. What's up with that?
My friends know me. They know I like to film, and not from like a conceited way. It's just something I like to do. I like to capture moments. I like to make travel vlogs. I like to make fun TikToks. It's something that I find fun. I don't mind it if any of my friends don't like that or don't want to be in them, but don't judge me for doing what makes me happy, and don't judge me for doing what I enjoy. If you don't like that, that's fine, but don't rub your insecurity off on me. And that's what happens on a lot of Miami girlfriend trips whenever it comes to like a girl who does like capturing content, girl who needs pictures and lots of them, a girl who wants to get TikToks and like do things like that, and then the girl on the opposite spectrum who
it's easier to do that if everybody likes to do that. Like I have these 2 friends that I went to high school with. We all like to take pictures or had pictures taken of us, something of that nature. We all like to make TikToks, so we're all on the same page. But let's say you're the only one who wants to do that, like, asking somebody to take pictures of you, it might feel like a hassle and everything because they're just not into that thing. So it is a lot easier. And just like, if they're like that, You're gonna have to take the tripod, sweetheart. It'd be annoying because like the tripod can get all the angles that another person could, but you do what you can.
Who just wants to relax and just wants to be in the moment. And doesn't want to do all that. There's nothing wrong with either side, but either side needs to be respectful of both sides. And a lot of the times that's not the case. Especially if one girl ends up with all the it girl shots while another girl gets cropped out of like every group pic. According to a 2022 study on social media and friendship satisfaction, people who feel excluded in group photos or videos often report a significant drop in friendship satisfaction. This is a very real thing. I wouldn't even say this is something that's pertaining to just Miami, but it's something that can happen there. If you're on trip and you need a picture and you're asking your friend for picture on picture on picture on picture, and you're taking pictures with only some of the girls on the trip, or you're taking videos with only some of the girls on the trip, like unless that friend voiced clearly like, hey, I don't really feel comfortable taking pictures and videos or this and this and that, and you're just simply excluding them. You see it a lot on trips. Maybe your friends next to you are taking videos or taking selfies together a lot, and I mean, you never said you weren't okay with being in the videos or the selfies, so you start to feel excluded. It can happen a lot, and that can also cause a lot of turmoil.
That's kind of weird. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I said, maybe it's not even on purpose, but people just it's the same song. Like, people just not being mindful and considerate. Like, you can't stop to think, oh dang, I haven't really been taking pictures with her. Like, I don't want her to feel like me excluding her or whatever. So next time, let me make sure like she's in it or something, or like make sure like I'm calling out their name so they can know we're taking a picture. It doesn't take much.
Or inner turmoil on trips that can lead to something that is more tangible. Y'all know I've really been getting into reading some of these Reddit stories, and there was a woman who came out with session where she said that her friend posted 20 Miami pics and she wasn't in a single one. She also paid for half the room, half of everything. Now, in that case, I wouldn't really go as far as to say like, oh, that's dead wrong that her friend didn't post her, because at the same time,
it depends. Like, there's some posts I do and it's just strictly me, and then there's some posts I'll do and it's still strictly me, but like I'm adding a group photo in it. So I don't know what this person is trying to get at that. And people can post what they want. It is weird. Like, for example, if I went on like a four-person trip and one of my friends post their pictures and they're posting the picture with the two other friends or like just them, and like I'm not in anything, I would kind of be like, that's kind of odd. You know, what's going on there? Especially, it's one thing we just ended up not taking pictures because so much be happening. You just miss it. Like, that was happening with me and my mom, like, during my graduation. Like, we were just like, yo, like, where's the pictures of us, you know? So, that happens. But if there is, and they purposely just like, I don't know. At the same time, I can kind of get it. Because let's say, like, they did take pictures with me, but they don't look good in any of them. I feel that. Like, I get it.
Your friend's Instagram, that's your friend's, like, social media. There's no obligation for her to post anyone or anything. Hear me out. I feel like this is the same argument of like a girl who goes on a trip, right? And she doesn't post any pictures. Well, that's kind of the same thing. Like, she went on the trip and she didn't post any pictures, so she still never posted you. She might have posted some stories or something or whatever like that, but like she never posted you. Nobody would be mad at that. But because somebody goes on the trip and they post a bunch of pictures of everything else but none of you, it's wrong. And I don't agree with that, just because I feel like people's social media should be for themselves. If they don't want to post other people and they only want to post themselves or like pictures of, you know, activities they're doing or whatever, I feel like that people are entitled to that. I don't think that anyone is ever entitled to like be on your social media. So in that case, I do kind of disagree with that in terms of like that being, I guess, a reason to just like not want to be somebody's friend on a trip or like break up with a friend over a trip. But like I said, everybody's different. Some girls on the trip, especially if they're not your friend like that, or if they are your friend and they feel some type of way about that.
That's what people kind of are messing up. Like, going on trips, I'm not saying, because some of the stories you hear, we sound like it's a horrible idea. Like, I can understand, like, for example, I can go on a trip with my two friends, and one of them is like, oh, my cousin also wants to go. Like, okay, I'm cool with my friend. Like, I should be cool with their cousin. So I can understand that kind of mentality. So I can get it, but gotta be cautious. You just don't know
maybe
people.
y'all's first trip together. You can't know that beforehand. Ultimately, it all really does come back down to communication. You need to first communicate about the money. Then you need to communicate about what activities you and your friends are going to do.
My goodness. I'm so sorry, gang. I finna refresh the page. It's the Wi-Fi bad. I've had this problem.
Is ever entitled to like be on your social media. So in that case, I do kind of disagree with that in terms of like that being, I guess, a reason to just like not want to be somebody's friend on a trip or like break up with a friend over a trip. But like I said, everybody's different. People, some girls on the trip, especially if they're not your friend like that, or if they are your friend and they feel some type of way about that, maybe it's y'all's first trip together, you can't know that beforehand. Ultimately, it all really does come back down to communication. You need to first communicate about the money. Then you need to communicate about what activities you and your friends are going to do, not want to do. Because there's a big difference between wants and are. And a lot of people, oh yeah, I would be down to do that. I'll be down to do this. I'll be down to do that before the trip. Get on the trip. Ooh, that's expensive. Ooh, that's too expensive. Ooh, that's too much. And you wonder why your friendship's not lasting. But yes, you guys, that is my final deep dive into the fiasco.
Okay, y'all. We made it through the video. I really want to know what y'all think about this. Let me know like what your experience been like. If you have traveled with your friends before, or if you want to travel with your friends, like what are some things you may fear, or what are some things that you feel like should be prioritized and should be established before traveling with your friends? Because like everybody has their own thing. Like there's some trips I've taken, at least with family, like it be a plan, no plan. Like we just show up and we do whatever we do. But like I said, I still stand on what I said. Everybody's just considerate and mindful. And I'm going to add an understanding too. Like, I can understand, like, let's say somebody wants to go to a place and I don't know, it's like $100+ and it's like, oh, you're not really trying to spend that, or you're not trying to spend that every single activity you do. Like, I could definitely see myself being like that. Like, why every activity we do, we spend in triple digits. Like, you know, especially the type of vibe I like to be on sometimes. Like, I like to do the free shit a lot of times. Like, can we just go to the beach? Like, you know what I mean? So, let me know what y'all think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for sticking throughout the video, and catch you next time.